Welcome everyone to another explainer. Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're looking at something that is just profoundly universal, the architecture of meaning, and how we actually practically build human purpose. We're going to break down this massive core paradox of modern life that, honestly, I'm sure pretty much all of you have felt at some point.
Why do we feel so incredibly lost when life has literally never been more comfortable? It's every question, right? It hits really close to home. I mean, think about it. Most of us have our basic survival needs totally covered. Our homes have AC and heating. Getting food is as easy as opening an app, and we live with unprecedented safety compared to our ancestors. And yet, there's this lingering heavy sense of burnout, this pervasive emptiness. There's a stark, frankly uncomfortable disconnect happening right now. On one hand, basic physical survival, it's undeniably easier than ever before in human history. But at the exact same time, burnout, emptiness, depression, they're higher than ever. What's really interesting here is that massive gap. It forces us to ask, if we aren't spending all our physical energy just trying to survive the winter or hunt down our next meal, why on earth are our minds so utterly exhausted?
Well, we can kind of categorize this as the modern trap. See, today, we are absolutely flooded with endless distractions. Plus, we have infinite options, right? Who to be, what career to chase, where to live. But here's the catch. Having infinite options doesn't actually free us. Actually, it paralyzes us. When you can do literally anything or be absolutely anyone, it's so easy to end up completely stripped of a stable, grounded sense of direction in your day-to-day life.
To really understand this trap, we need to turn to the philosophy of human suffering. If we look back at the greatest thinkers of the 19th and 20th centuries, they didn't view our need for meaning as some sort of luxury. No, they viewed it as a fundamental, non-negotiable requirement for existing. Take Viktor Frankl, the renowned psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. He wrote, "People don't break only from pain. They break from meaninglessness." Frankl realized that meaning is a literal survival mechanism. He saw firsthand that human beings can endure immense, unimaginable suffering, but only if they have a reason for it. Without a reason, the human spirit simply collapses.
And that builds directly into the thoughts of the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. He famously stated, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." It stacks perfectly onto Frankl's concept, doesn't it? Nietzsche deeply believed that having a clear purpose actually takes our suffering and gives it value. It transforms pointless, agonizing pain into a necessary, bearable step on a meaningful journey.
This creates a really stark contrast in our daily lives. Think about it. When you have direction, discomfort actually feels valuable. Like when you're grinding at the gym to get healthy, or you're pulling a late night studying for a degree you deeply care about. The pain has a point. It feels rewarding. But without direction, even the smallest effort feels completely exhausting. Discomfort just feels utterly pointless and draining.
So you might be wondering who exactly gives us this direction. Well, the philosopher Albert Camus offered a surprisingly blunt perspective that brilliantly bridges the gap between high-level philosophy and our literal daily actions. He argued that the universe itself is fundamentally indifferent to us. It just doesn't care. Life isn't going to automatically hand you a neatly packaged meaning on a silver platter.
And because the universe is indifferent, we face a crucial choice. We can fall into the trap Camus warns about, waiting around passively to discover your purpose, as if it's just hiding under a rock somewhere. That just keeps you paralyzed. Or we can consciously create meaning. We have to step out of that passive waiting room and actively build it ourselves. Okay, let's step out of the abstract philosophy now and look at the hard, actionable science. Let's look at your brain on purpose. Because the psychology and the brain chemistry behind this shift from passive to active are absolutely fascinating and honestly way more mechanical than you might think. Your brain is quite literally a meaning-seeking engine. Psychology shows us that being a goal-oriented creature isn't just some nice philosophical idea. It's a strict biological necessity. We are wired with a deep, deep psychological need for direction and progress. Studies consistently show that when we have a purpose, our emotional resilience skyrockets and our baseline anxiety and feelings of hopelessness drop significantly. We are quite simply built to aim at things. So the crucial point is how our brain's reward system actually operates. We so often think dopamine is just the achievement molecule, right? Like it only hits when you win the trophy, but it's not. Dopamine actually rewards the movement toward meaningful goals. It rewards anticipation. It rewards incremental progress. Your brain chemically rewards you for simply being on the journey, continuously pushing you forward. But here is the harsh, direct biological consequence of ignoring this mechanism. Without direction, your motivation collapses entirely. It's true, if your brain doesn't have a meaningful goal to anticipate or move toward, that dopamine system just dries up. You feel lethargic, unmotivated, stuck. It's not necessarily a character flaw. It is just the sheer chemical reality of lacking a goal.
Which brings us to the absolute biggest misconception we need to systematically dismantle today. The myth is that you have one grand destiny or one perfect passion, and your only job in life is to agonize over finding it. No way. The reality is much more grounded and, frankly, a lot more accessible. Purpose is found through action, through contribution, and through chosen responsibility in the here and now.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we completely have to rethink our approach to our daily lives. Purpose is not a static noun. It's not some hidden destiny waiting to be uncovered. It is a byproduct. It's the exhaust that naturally comes out of the engine of daily action, growth, contribution, and choosing to take on responsibility for yourself and the people around you.
So how do we actually do this? Well, we have a very clear, actionable playbook here. Step 1, try things. Literally, just get out of your head. Step 2, pay attention to how those things make you feel. Step 3, find something you're willing to suffer for. Because as we learned earlier, the suffering's going to happen regardless, right? And step 4, notice what feels meaningful even when it's incredibly difficult. Remember, meaning comes from movement and trying, not from endlessly overthinking your options.
Which leads us to this incredibly powerful summary. Purpose is rarely found sitting still. It's built through movement. This right here is the absolute core paradigm shift of everything we've covered in this explainer. It is not a discovery process, it's an active construction project. You have to pick up the tools and start moving to build it. I'm going to leave you with this final, really profound thought. A meaningful life is not discovered all at once. It's slowly created by what you repeatedly choose to care about. So I have to ask you, what are you repeatedly choosing to care about today? What actual actions are you taking? Because that is exactly where your purpose is waiting to be built. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this helps you build your own architecture of meaning.